Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to our channel. Today's a whole new video. We got a whole lot of stuff going on. So what are we doing? Well, we got Project Spaceball back on the lift. That's right, Project Spaceball. And why am I looking at its backside? Well, one, it's a nice looking backside. But two, we need to relocate our turn signals. That's right, they need to be relocated for a future project, which is under there, that you'll have to wait and see for the next video. So to get this done, we're going to have to remove our tail light. We're going to have to remove the seat, the rear fender, which means all this comes off, and we'll disassemble the turn signals. Okay, as you can see, I got the rear fender off. And how did I do that? Well, first off, you got three connectors here. This is for your run and brake, left and right turn, and those go through the fender, and I'll show you that over here. This one goes through the fender. These two, your turn signals, come through the struts. Now, to get the struts off, on either side, there's two T45 bolts that get that off, and on both sides and on the sides, there are Allens that hold on that which was holding on my backrest. All right, so now what we're going to do is, believe it or not, I'm going to cut these wires. Yep, I'm going to cut these wires, the turn signal wires that is, so I could run them through and remove them from these struts and run them through. But also, we are going to remove the tail light and the tail light mount bracket, which this is 2 screws, and then there's 1 bolt on the inside, and that'll all come off, and of course unplug everything and do what we got to do. And now, once all that's done, then I could run the turn signals through here, across underneath this little snap. I'm going to go inside of here as well, you know, fish them through, and then back out through this hole, and I'm going to bring the turn signals out and plug them back in. And then that would be done. So it's just that simple, guys. It really is. Not really, but we're going to make it happen. So let me get all this turned around. Let's make sure I got everything set up. I do have the instructions here. I did breeze over them. Yeah, I know instructions are for girls, but you know what? Something as important as turn signals and electrical, you know, I want to make sure it's right. And now I could say everything has been off of this bike except for the forks, the handlebars, and the headlight. Everything else has been off this bike. I have completely disassembled it other than the electrical wire and the handlebars and the forks, which that will happen in the future. Same thing with the rear shock. But, you know, now I know a better idea to do the rear shock. I'm going to have to pull the fender because there's a pinch bolt here, and then this through bolt for the back of the rear shock. And of course, on the other side, there's that other bolt to remove that rear shock. And I'm probably going to be doing that as well in the future when I do a suspension upgrade. But just to give you an idea, I'm actually liking this without a fender. It'd be pretty cool if I could just put a seat here and mount it here with a very short rear fender. I think that would look really cool, but that's not the direction I'm going with this bike. You will see that direction in my next video. So stay tuned. Let me get this turned around. I want to start removing stuff off of this fender. Okay, got the fender turned around. Okay, so we have a Phillips here and a Phillips here. I have to get that. So let's go over to the trusty box, pull this out, and we'll grab a number 2 Phillips. So we'll pull this tail light off and try and get you guys the best angle I can here. Again, I don't have a camera crew or editors or anything. It's all done by myself. So, you know, just bear with me. But just to show you, you know, that's where the screws are. As you can see, they're not really that hard and not that hard to get to, and they're really easy to get to. And this is removing the tail light on your soft tails, the ST baggers or mini baby baggers. You're going to hear that term again, baby bagger, which is the Lowrider ST. I call those baby baggers. So nothing against them. I like a Lowrider ST. I wish the Lowrider ST was available when I bought this, but it wasn't. Okay, so we're going to unplug this from here. That comes unplugged. Now we're going to unplug our wiring harness, the main harness. I'm going to push that through. Then inside of here, there is a Phillips screw that we're going to take this off. I'm going to put that to the side. Now this here, usually you got to, there you go, they pop up, out. Now it's very important that inside of here, you see this electronic board, we need this. So we got to be careful not to break or crack it, removing it. And how to do that, I have no idea, but I'm going to figure that out, because this will end up going in its place just like that, and the turn signals will mount here. I like that with the black better than the chrome that was there, and if I wanted to, I couldn't powder coat it because it's a plastic piece of junk, where this is actually metal. So with all that being said, let's see, how do I get this off without breaking it? All right, I figured it out. There are some push pins right here that press into the mount, and that is not here for this. So we're gonna have to figure that out as well, because that's set like that. So this will have to sit just like that as well. And the Phillips screw will go in there. And there's a gasket to put in place here. So we want to get that gasket in place. And with that gasket, I'm going to have to clean all this off. And all the gasket does is protect the electronics from weather. Give you an idea. Something like this, maybe, yep, something like that. Let's take a look. Yeah, something like that. Goes on there like that. And all the wires come through. There's this wire, and then the wire for the tail light. Yep, so that's how that's going to work. Or does that go on the inside? No, it doesn't go on the inside. It's too big. All right. Now that we're getting it all figured out, we're going to make this all happen. So this will go on here like that. So let me get this all cleaned up, and then we'll... Okay, guys, what am I cleaning this with? This is 91% alcohol, because you don't want to use anything that has a wax in there, because then it won't stick and it won't last that long. So we're going to clean this up really nice. I'm going to flip it over, use a clean end. What do you guys think so far? You have an idea why I am doing this? Tell you what, why don't you leave me a comment down below with the reason why you think I am doing this. Because, you know, I don't do anything just to do something. I actually have a reason why I do something, and there's a reason why I'm doing this. And what that reason is, you will have to find out. So, there you go. This will come in here like that. That'll mount there like that. It is so nice, so pretty. And then the turn signals mount here. So let me look at how I'm going to feed these wires in. Oh, I already know how I'm going to feed these wires in. So I'm going to have to start on my turn signal mounting on this before I mount this and anything else. So let's do that. Again, you know, I don't read the instructions. I just breeze past them just to give me an idea of what I have to do. So let's start with the right turn signal. So we're going to have to cut all these zip ties. Has anybody figured out what I'm doing yet? What this project's all about? Or are you just going to wait and see? And that reminds me, guys, if this is the first time you're here, welcome to my channel. And if you've been a subscriber to my channel in the past, welcome back. All right, so the screws for the turn signals here are a T40. So I'm going to take those off, and always keeping in mind, you know, which one went where, because with the color coding of the connectors, that's going to make a huge difference. So there you have it. All right, and all right, that one comes off, that one comes out. Put this strut on this side because that's the side it actually belongs on. The standoff is not needed. Yep, you got that right. The standoff is not needed. Now I can de-pin the wires. That's just a lot of work for me, and I'm not really a big fan of it. So this one, this wire comes through. No, it doesn't come through. Nope, doesn't go through. Okay, so it doesn't go through. That's the bolt hole. This just gets bolted on just like that. Give you an idea. And so let me get the hardware that came with this so I could bolt this up. And the hardware that comes with, believe it or not, already has a thread locker on it. I'm not going to call it Loctite because I'm not sure which brand it is, but it is a thread locker. And let's see, yep, it's still a T40, which is always a good thing. So that comes in here like that. That threads in. And let's get a ratchet on here. All right. So there it is. Now I got to do the other side. I'm going to run the wires inside of here, just like that, just like that, and they're going to go in and through to the front. So there you have it. Let me do the other side and we'll get back at it. Okay, I plugged in the wires. I mean, if you want to see it, took this wire, plugged it into the circuit board here. Oh, now it's not doing it. Oh, just my luck. There it is. And then this one, same thing, gets plugged into the bottom. All right. So now to put this back together, this used to be attached here and it doesn't attach anymore. So what we got to do is tuck it all in here together, just like that. Attach our tail light, hopefully, and it's not going flush. And why is that? So it's fighting me. Why is it fighting me? I'll tell you what, I'm going to back these out all the way. Because I think it'll be easier for me to do it this way. But that's just me. And, you know, of course, as always, I will be cleaning these up. You know, wiping everything down when I'm done. And we'll, you know, make it happen. I hate these little screw keepers at times, like right now. I really, really do. Ow. Just cut myself. All right, let me get these off and then we'll get back to it together. Okay, I found out what the holdup is. This piece drops farther down than what is given clearance for. So I had to grind out the metal here to make room for it, as you could see. I used my die grinder. I didn't use like a Dremel or anything. I just wanted to get it done. So now we could take our tail light. I'll show you. And we take our tail light, we plug it in. And now everything lines up nice and nice. And we could run our screws in, and that will button up the tail section of this project. You guys tell me, what do you think so far? What do you think? The relocations. And don't worry, there's little caps that go in here that will fill those in once we get it all back together. So let's flip it over, run our wires. They give you these crimp connectors from Harley Davidson. Well, I'm not going to use them because I don't like them. What I like to use is solder and heat shrink, and it's good. You don't have to worry about it ever again. So let me flip it and we'll start soldering. Okay, so here are our turn signal wires. Here's one, there's the other one. And what I did is I ran them through the existing chase that comes out. So I have them marked. So I have a gold paint marker. So when I go ahead and put these back together, you know, gold to gold, black to black, and that makes it simple. Now, they also give you wire, so, and sheath. So I'm gonna start stripping these different lengths, soldering, getting things back together. And if you haven't seen it by now, I do have a video of soldering techniques that I highly recommend that you guys watch. So when we do this, or you go to do this, you want to solder your wires, you'll know how it's done. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to extend these out to the same length as this because that's what they were when they came apart. So I already know the length, so I'm going to be, you know, doing a whole lot of soldering and everything. So stand by, you know, we'll make things happen. Okay, got the whole rear fender built up with the fender struts on both sides. All the wiring is done, ready to get back together with my sissy bar mount. Ugh. And all my fingerprints. But there you have it. We're going to get it on the bike. which is basically at this point 4 screws. We got 2 on this side and 2 on that side. Connect the wires, and that makes sure the turn signals work, the brake and run light work, and then we're done. So let's get you on here on the lift. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Line up the hose. 1, 2. These are T45. Make sure not to cross thread them. There we go. Now we'll go around the other side. You guys could barely see that. I apologize. But like I said, I don't have a film crew or anything like that. Now, before I get too crazy with tightening this down, I am going to connect our tail light. Close that in place. Take our turn signals and we're going to connect them. And then we're going to neaten this all up. Make it look neat and pretty. Because I don't want it to look like a hack was in here. So all of this, sorry guys. That goes there. That goes there. And that goes there. And then we'll just zip tie all this up out of the way. This one will go here. This two will go here. All right, so let's turn her on. And we got tail light. Now let's do right to turn. Okay, we got right turn. Now we're going to do left to turn, which is right up here. And we have left to turn. Now how about brakes? It's be hard for everybody to see it, but I can see it. You can see it get bright. Okay, and brakes. Beautiful. All right, guys. All I got left to do is tighten up the fender strut, clean the fenders, put the sissy bar and seat back on. All right, everybody. Until the next one, live the best life you can. Ride often and ride hard.
Like and subscribe to Dr. Harley. Subscribe, Dr. Harley.